and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Happy 27th of June, everybody. We are on section 17, if I can get hold of the clear cover, because it's not coming up. But we get the next sort of biggest section, I'd say, of, no, that's not going to come up. Let me scroll that. Yeah, probably what you'd class as the rest of the main part of the ribbon in today's one. I don't think my line went over exactly the same place then, but we're off. Clear cover is off. We do have a lot of colour on this one. Probably, yeah, our most colourful yet to do. I'm using my little Diddy resin pen. This one is from Hand Turned Heaven, which is another company that make their own pens. They too are based in the States. I ended up getting a couple from some different makers of resin pens back before they sort of became a bit more popular and a bit more available in all countries. So we're going to see how long this one takes us today. I have noticed that the last couple of times I've then had a section with colour, it does take a little bit longer, even though I do have, of course, my amazing tray set up so that I'm not tipping diamonds in and out. I am changing my trays, so it does take a bit longer. So we'll see how quick we get this section done, whether I can get it done before my tea's made. Because my tea's being made while I do this section today. It is absolute Goldilocks weather today. I have absolutely loved it. I've got through all the washing basket. I've not felt warm and sweaty at any single point. It is due to rain at some point tomorrow, hence getting all my washing done today. But yeah, I don't mind. It's on and off bits of rain throughout this week, but it keeps the nice temperatures. It's a British kind of summer now, which is what us Brits are used to, and frankly what us Brits like. But I do want to say a happy birthday shout out to Sasha today, whose birthday it is. She's let me know, so I hope you are having an amazing day / have had. The beginning part of the day has been amazing. There's quite a few birthdays in June. Yeah, so, and anniversaries I think I've seen in comments as well. But Ina said, she said on the 21st, she said it was another hot day for her in the Netherlands. Yesterday they only had 10 millimetres of rain, so it hasn't cooled down yet. Just picked up a bonus 2 diamonds then. She says for her, the reason to just listen and play a game, that gives her an excuse to just listen and play a game on her phone. It is very hard to do anything when it is so hot. I've definitely been picking and choosing the work tasks that I do in relation to, can I do this in front of the air conditioner or not, has played a very big part. I've also done quite a few tasks in the kitchen, which is one of the cooler rooms in the house, and I've always got the option of slipping my little my shoes off and putting my feet on the cold tiled floor if I really need to cool down. But yeah, today I've just been able to get on with whatever it is I want, and as I say, not felt hot and sweaty, so it's rather nice. She says she doesn't think she's going to finish her small painting before the end of June, because she really likes the resin drills and she doesn't want to rush it. Well, that is a perfect reason. As long as you are enjoying the process, don't put pressure on yourself to finish when you're just enjoying how it's going. She says a friend is coming over to see her this upcoming weekend, so she will have to prepare some things so we can relax, she says, and do nothing if we want to. Absolute bliss, having the choice of doing nothing. Saturday, I think I loved Saturday. I just did nothing. I diamond painted all day. But other than that, I was pretty much doing not much else. And it was definitely a good kind of day. Mummy Escapes says she has 2 30 by 40s on her board now. She says one has letters, muddled but okay. She says the other is a nightmare. She said it only has 20 colours and it has numbers, letters and symbols, but not in a sensible order. She says she uses the legend and numbers her pots, but pot 1 has the symbol number 7, pot 4 is symbol number 2 and pot 18 is symbol number 3. She says what more, symbols 2 and 3 are barely a shade apart and next to each other on the image. She says, don't you just hate that? She says, great waffle. She said, it's the only thing keeping me going at the minute. Yes, I do agree with you. And it can be, to be fair, really, really hard. The amount of times I have scanned over symbols and things on paintings that we've done in partnership with Diamond Art Studio, and think everything's covered, think I've got all the key things and got them all as right as possible. But until you are actually doing the painting, you just don't know. You just don't know. And there is, no practical way to just order one of a painting and not, of course, get the bulk amount that you're getting anyway. So it can be really, really hard. But I do get your frustration when it comes to similar symbols and things like that. Just tests your patience just a little bit. Mysterious Days says, good evening, Rebecca. She said today she did 2 seconds 50 to 15 and she randomly chose 26. Oh, 2 sections. Sorry, it changed. Every now and then the predictive text changes words. And I can often catch most of them that it's changed, but that one completely flummoxed me. Okay, so let's try again. Today she did 2 sections, number 15, and she randomly chose number 26, as she is working tomorrow and she would rather play with her new laptop that's being delivered. I don't blame you. It'll be exciting times setting up your new laptop. She said she has a strict bedtime on work days, so she can't stay up too late, and she can always pull another project out if she decides she wants to work on one. She says she is almost done with a Star Wars budget kit of Yoda and someone she doesn't know. Awesome. She says she's not a Star Wars fan, but it came in a bundle for a decent price, and she liked it. She said the decision wheel chose this kit, so she did it, and she doesn't mind. She said it is sometimes the process and not the image. She said especially if it is just going into a portfolio. And that's true. As long as you like the look of it, why on earth do you need to name everything that's in it? You don't. She says it's been rainy and gloomy in the south today, and she said it's expected to be tomorrow as well. I know the south has definitely had different weather, because the news announced Sunday evening, I think it was, hot weather here for a few more days and all that, and I'm thinking that's not, but it was of course talking about London, because when the weather makes the headlines, London is the only place in the whole of the UK. Army Moa said she passed her board exam today. Fantastic. Thank you so much for letting us know. She said she finished an hour and a half early. So hubby took her to a celebration lunch, and now she gets to whip as long as her heart desires. Fantastic. I'm so happy that everything went well for you. And you got a lunch out of it too. She said she has been limiting herself to 30 minutes a day, which I understand because you've had things to study for. She says, but she is going to diamond paint now until her back or her neck or her hand starts hurting. That is definitely one way to go. I am going to diamond paint until I drop, is what that is. She says she is using her thinner resin purple pen, just like I was on the 21st. She said, and she has lots of resin pens, but that one is her favourite. She said it's thick enough to be ergonomic, but lighter in weight than all of her other resin pens. She says it's her new favourite, and she'll be using her first paycheck with her new job title money to buy some more. Awesome. So you've ended up with a day of diamond painting, or the rest of your day diamond painting, a lunch out, and when your pennies come in, some new pens as well. Sounds like it is well deserved. Trying to restrict yourself to 30 minutes a day can often make you want to diamond paint more, because you do have that restriction. So it's nice to know that all that resilience has paid off, and paid off in a good way. Brianne, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she totally agrees with me for the tips on colour blocking. She said, and diamond painting in general. She says for an ADHD person, she said your Whip and Waffles or an audiobook is perfect to keep the mind occupied, while the diamond painting keeps our hands busy. She says that's what works for me, at least. Yes, I just love it. It's just, that's my happy place. Hubby sometimes says, he's like, you alright if I go out to see my mates? I'm like, yeah, fine. As soon as he's out the door, audiobook's on. Audiobook's on, diamond painting's out, in my happy little place, on my own, diamond painting away. Don't get me wrong, it is nice when he is in and he is sat watching the TV, especially if it's something that catches my interest. But there is definitely something to be said for diamond painting alone with me and my dog and my audiobook just as much. Catherine says, hi Rebecca. She says, this is my first June waffle. She says, thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. I am happy that you are enjoying it. Because the June waffles are just that nice little break in the middle of the year. Very relaxed June waffle. It's just about getting me time. Lots of different challenges that people have set themselves, all within the June waffle scope of getting some me time. And I think there's probably been a record-breaking amount of diamond paintings finished, whether that has been helped by heat waves or not, or whether it's just been a very good excuse to diamond paint lots. Who knows, and what does it really matter? The point is, we've got our diamond painting in for a valid reason that makes sense to us. So we're sticking with it, is what we are. Magic Moonchild says, long comment alert. This is sorry in advance. I've seen longer, don't you worry. She said it is time for her to admit defeat. She said she was on holiday in Devon. Ooh, nice. She said until the 10th of June with her long distance boyfriend who came over for the first time. She said she thought it would be easy to catch up with the waffles and diamond painting. She says, but alas, she was wrong. She says she's been working almost every day. 2 new puppies and depression because she's been separated from boyfriend again. She says she is finding it hard to catch up. Do not feel like you have to catch up in any way, shape or form. You do not have to catch up. Just take each day as it comes, and if you can diamond paint and try and get that me time in on any given day, then you're winning. You don't need to be to a certain point or to have had a certain amount of me time days. Just jump in where you can, join in where you can. She said it's currently the 22nd and she is just about to start June the 17th video. She said so she hasn't done too bad. She says she's just trying not to put too much pressure on herself to finish by the 30th. And don't, seriously, you do not need to finish by the 30th. Just get me time as and when you can, and that's it. That's all it is getting that bit of me time, whether that be diamond painting or not. So don't feel like you have to have a certain amount of a diamond painting done. I like in the June waffles to have a diamond painting that I section up. I think it's different from what I normally have. You know, my normal whip and chats are whatever whip I'm working on, whatever state it happens to be when I'm filming the whip and waffle. And sometimes you see a diamond painting being kitted up and you don't see it again until it's finished. This is just a way if you've been able to see me diamond paint a complete painting. But it is in no way a rule that you have to do it this way. So do what works for you. She said she is working on Flash by Diamond Art Club. And this is her first painting in her 4-year diamond painting career. I like that. Where she would have single placed all the drills. She says she's been trying to master tweezers on this painting. And she is good with them up until the point of slotting them in between other diamonds. She says then she has to get her pen back out. which I get because the tweezers just, I can imagine them getting in the way. She says, on another note, she said she would love to see me try a Treasure Studios art painting and one of the new Ever Moments. So if you need a sign to buy a new painting, she said this is it. Oh, I don't know if I need any signs, though you guys do provide them anyway. I do actually have a Treasure Art Studio painting. It has been in my decision wheel for goodness knows how long and has not yet been chosen by said decision wheel. So I do have one in there. It's a kookaburra. It's a nice bright kookaburra, would probably be absolutely amazing to practice my multi-placing on, but it has not yet chosen it. I may sneak it in a bit in advance, but I do feel the next large painting I need to kit up, it does need to come from my decision wheel, because I haven't spun that decision wheel for quite a while. The new Ever Moments, I have been browsing. I think I have one in my basket that may be a basket or favorited. It might be on my little wish list. I think I have one that will suit me and would be kind of nice to do. So I might get one of those ordered, though I think I wouldn't be able to do the unboxing for about 6 weeks, according to my YouTube schedule, to fit another unboxing in. So I think that's why I've not been in a big rush to order one. Trying to see if I can get through some of my stash before I add any more. But I would be interested in seeing how their kits come, because I used to do a lot more Ever Moment before my stash got out of hand. That was one of the places I did like to go browsing. However, we now have Diamond Art Studio UK, who are, of course, local, well, localish to me. They're not like round the corner, but basically they're a UK company. So, yeah, I'm always drawn to them first because they can get it to me the quickest, which is probably why I have so many. But yeah, it always used to be Ever Moment before Diamond Art Studio was born. She said, thank you for your company throughout June. You've helped me in more ways than you know. Oh, thank you so much. But seriously, don't put any pressure on yourself at all during June Waffle. It is, you know, I don't want you feeling worse because you feel like you're behind. Ditch that whole behind. You're not behind. Just try and get some me time today, if you can. If not, try again tomorrow. But no catch up required. Enjoy the process. Lynn, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, may I ask where you got that purple pen, please? She says, it's a beautiful colour. She says, thank you for the waffle, and she can't wait for the order of the 24-day advent. Everybody is very keen for Christmas to start. Is it this purple pen, Lynn? If it's this one is from our shop. So we have this style of pen in quite a few different colours. So this is our purple colour. And it has different lighter bits and darker bits. Some of them have more light bits in, some have more dark bits in. But yeah, it's actually from our shop, addmorezest.com. Helen, she says, does anybody else make pretty patterns with their drills whilst doing a big block of colour? She says, or is it just me being a big kid? So the reason I first chuckled is because there is a lot of comments underneath Helen's comment where, yeah, basically people are saying, yes, I do random patterns even when I don't realise I'm doing it. And Sammy also says, do you find yourself finding random words in some canvases? She says that always makes her laugh. But yes, I do random patterns when I am working with something of colour. I have stuck to the basic sort of step while I've been doing this one because I've been chatting. But if I was doing this one sort of for my sit down diamond painting in an evening, one of the things I like to do is, do you remember, so this might be showing my age, but there was a game where you would bounce the ball off the side and you would have to move the little shelf at the bottom to catch the ball before it pinged off. Yeah, well, sometimes I like to do the ball that pings. So I would start somewhere and I will go down in a diagonal line. And then as soon as I hit the bottom, I would bounce off and go in the opposite direction. And then I'd bounce off and go in the opposite direction. And I would just keep going round like that until it's sort of, in effect, done the checkerboard method. But sometimes it would do a bit of the step method. So sometimes you would have it bouncing off and following sort of the same line that you'd not long done or had done previously. That's one of my favourite things to do, is basically just bounce it off a section. So for example, if I was coming down here, it's hit the bottom now, so then I'd go up this way, and I'd go up all the way up to sort of my top line, which that wasn't my top line. I just hit the wrong square, but then I would bounce back off again. And if you sort of start it in a random place in your little section, it can sometimes make some sort of weird patterns. And then I'd go off, placing sort of my next one, and then it might come down, and then now because I've hit another place again, I'm actually coming back down along the same sort of edge, and then I'd go here and then it would bounce back up. So because I've sort of started in the corner of my section, it sometimes follows, you know, a very rigid sort of pattern, but other times you get some weird and wonderful patterns in it. So now I'm sort of coming up and crossing over the next one, because every time I sort of hit an edge, I'm just then going in an opposite direction. So yeah, that can be a fun way to sort of place a few diamonds, especially in a big block of colour, because why not have fun with it? Why not just enjoy it? And then sometimes I colour in some of those blocks. So like I'll colour in this bit here, and then maybe I'll decide to leave that bit there and go and colour in another section and fill it in. It depends if I get bored of doing straight lines or feel like it's all filling it in a bit too much. I'll go and do a little bit of colouring in, but I'll do it in random different places, and then I'll go and fill in some gaps. It's all part of the fun, Helen. It really is. But yeah, it's not just you. Anne-Marie, she says her cooling blanket is out all year round. She says she absolutely loves hers. She got it on Amazon after I unboxed mine, and she said it's one of the best purchases she has ever made. It is so nice though. Just the cool, silky feeling of the outer cover. It's just, yeah, and it's just lightweight, which I love. But yeah, that gets used on and off all summer. To be honest, I should think about bringing it in some days in winter when it gets a bit warm. She says, thanks again for another great waffle. You're welcome. Sammy said, the ribbon is looking lovely. She said, does this ribbon have a meaning? Yeah, so this one is in recognition of the Alzheimer's charity. So these are charity ribbons that Diamond Art Studio have done. Oh, let me just get this little bit down here before I forget it. Yeah, so they've done a pink one for cancer research. So profits go to cancer research. And this one, sort of blue purple one, they've done it for Alzheimer's. I think they are planning on doing a few more in the future. So at different times there may be different coloured ribbons available. But that's partly the reason why I decided to do this painting for June Waffle, because to give a bit to a charity as well is all the better, in my opinion. Right, the white is actually done. So I'm going to start with this bottom corner. I reckon I will end up, I have pretty much no doubt I will end up missing some colours while doing this, but I'm going to start with my bottom corner and go across, doing whatever is the most bottom first and then most left second. So whatever is the most bottom left that I can find, and if I miss any, I will catch them when I find them later, because I have zero doubt that I will miss some, because I've done it on all my other splatter sections that have had lots of colour so far. Catherine says she has been diamond painting since February 2021 and she has been watching me since then. She says today she has been struggling with asthma and a chest infection. Ooh. She says taking steroids and antibiotics, which make her feel like a deflated balloon. So she has not been able to do much. She says, you've helped me to feel like I am involved in something. She says, thank you. Well, you are welcome. Hopefully those steroids will kick in soon. It normally takes a few days, but I normally find once the steroids have kicked in and done what they need to do for your asthma, that you can all of a sudden get some energy back that you have been missing. I like it when I get my little energy boost when I'm near the end of steroids and they've done what they're supposed to do, and therefore they just give me pure energy. It's great. I get loads done. It's a little byproduct of taking it to sort your asthma out, but hopefully you will get that little boost once your chest has calmed down a bit and you can enjoy productivity mode and feeling like you can get stuff done. Right, I think I've got all the A's. I've just done a scan. I'm trying not to do too much of a scan. So when I am sat down diamond painting in the evening, when I'm not using trays and I'm using pots, I do often do a slower scan over my diamond painting. And I do, I take longer doing the scan over the painting. But because I have these all in pots, which means it's not quite as mortifying when I find I've missed a colour, because I can just grab it again and I don't have to tip the pot out. I'm trying not to check too much if I've missed something or not. I'm just giving them a quick scan but I've actually missed loads of these. Maybe it would have been better for me to do them in sort of darker colours first and then gone up to lighter colours. Maybe that would have helped me try not to miss any as much. Helen says buying craft items and using said craft items are two different hobbies in themselves. Yes, some of us are better at one over the other. But as long as you are using some of them, attempting to use some of them, then all is not lost. I just would like to get mine down just a little bit. Jackie, she says, yes, Rebecca. She said she would have got through the 4 initials that she did with the black background a lot quicker if the black background had just been printed on the canvas. She does also believe that the initials and the flowers would have stood out more. She says she's loving the waffles this month. They keep her company all through her day, she says, especially when she is doing those dreaded household chores. Yes, I've done quite a few of those today. I am filming this, of course, on Monday for Tuesday. So we had the usual Monday morning kitchen. I'm sure everybody else in the house just thinks fairies clean the kitchen on a daily basis. But yeah, one of my things this morning after getting orders out was like, right, I am taking this kitchen back and I am getting the washing on before it rains tomorrow. And they are going to be my main tasks along with other shop bits that I was doing today. Stock preparation and stock ordering and all the daily stuff that needs to be done. Cat Lady says she is away over the weekend, so she is working ahead on her canvases while she can. She said she put some of Kaz putty in a new wooden pen today to give it a try. She said it's very different from wax, but similar to sticky dots, but a lot easier to load into the pen. It's easier to load into the pen. I find it's not as easy to get out of the pen if you do need to take it out to replace it. But I have been using it in the multi-placer recently. Though, as many of you know, I am new to multi-placing. I have not yet tried glue dots in my multi-placer. I think I started using putty from the off in the multi-placer. I did try sticky dots in them quite a while back when I decided to give them a go, but it didn't stick. So I have tried to give multi-placing a go before, but I just ended up resorting back to standard single placing. But yeah, I have been enjoying it in the wax tips, though I do need to potentially try glue dots in the wax tips in the multi-placer as well, before I can confirm which is my favourite. Liz, she says, thanks for a lovely waffle. She says she has kitted up Tea Rose Fairy by Hannah Lynn from Diamond Art Club during yesterday's waffle, and she has started on its 42.6 by 60.8 centimetre. She says, so it's a nice size. She is doing it for the summer colours, 23. Second canvas as Pinkie Pie was also done as her June waffle picture. She says Tea Rose Fairy has 5 large bags of 310. She says thank goodness for multi-placing. You gotta love it when you get black for likes of a Hannah Lynn, Mandy Manzano, the new Fairy House that I recently unboxed from Diamond Art Studio. When black is used as an outline and you just get those bags of black and you're like, oh, so much 310. But when they are used for outlines, it's the best type of black for me. Give it me as an outline in the likes of a Hannah Lynn, and I really don't mind 310 when it's used that way. It brings such definition to the pictures. It looks so good. She said at least it's round diamonds, so it's not as bad as using square with all that black. She says since finishing her mystery kit, she's completed 10 Paint Gem minis from the Ocean set. She says as a point of interest, she said the humid heat we have in this country also makes you, she says, at least me, sweat more. Which is why it's so much more uncomfortable than the dry heat that so many other countries have. She says on the woolies subject again, she said she remembers that she can remember buying 7-inch singles at a fraction of the price when they had left the charts. She said a good way to get what you wanted but cheaper. Yes. So you forget what it is that you used to go in there for. You sort of forget what it was that they used to sell until somebody reminds you of something else, because they just sold so many different things. I think that's what it was. There was just so many different things. Our old Woolworths in our town centre is now a pound shop. It's just not quite the same. Though you can get sweets cheap. But apart from that, it's not quite the same. Grey Legrand, she said, someone asked about opinions on full paintings versus partials. She says that she likes both. Her first diamond painting was a partial by Diamond Dots. She started it last year on July the 2nd and finished on the 3rd. She says so she went to Joann's that same day to get another kit. She says this time a full drill. She says that one took her 3 weeks to finish. She said things quickly escalated after that. She says there were the Amazon orders, the DIY Choose, the GBFKE, the FG Normal, Everyday E Deals, Dreamer Designs, and of course Diamond Art Club. She said she likes them all. Sounds like my house with that type of mail coming in. So many different paintings from so many different places. It's just, it's really hard to go, no, I don't need to add that one to my stash this time. It is so hard. But I am getting quite a bit of time in at the moment to actually diamond paint. Or I feel like I have this last week. Maybe it's because I had that all day on Saturday. But I always feel better when I am getting to actually diamond paint more. I feel like there is a chance of me getting through some of my stash. Tiffany, she said she so hopes that she has a lucky day as she loves those purple trays. Oh, I am sorry, Tiffany. They were won, but not by you, Tiffany. They are on their way to Canada, the trays, and as I'm filming this, or as I've come in to film this, the draw has been done for Coup Deals, and I will be sending out that email. So by the time you see this video, the email for that one would have gone out. And depending on when they get back to me, hopefully that will be in the post tomorrow. Speaking of giveaways, let's sneak that one in there. We do have a giveaway today. So the giveaway for today is actually this huge painting from Aura Lower. So this I actually unboxed on my other channel on the 21st. So I unboxed it 5 days ago. It is 80 centimeters by 57 and it is square diamonds. I am currently doing a different painting from Aura Lower in square and I am loving their square diamonds, just saying. But if you want to see this full painting and where all the ABs and stuff are placed, this was one of the hard ones to give up. But this painting is the giveaway for today. So to enter, I will chat about how we enter. Let me zoom back in. So to enter, if you head over to addmorezest.com, which is our website where you'll find our shop and links to videos and all sorts of other bits. If you head over there, and there is a tab across the top called Giveaway. If you're on a mobile, you will need to click on the little 3 dots in the top right hand corner to find the Giveaway tab, and it will ask you for a password. The password is Aura Lower, all lowercase. They were very kind in letting me give away one of the paintings that they've sent to me to unbox. I just had to make the hard decision. But yeah, the password is Aura Lower, which is ORALOA, all lowercase, and then full details of how to enter the giveaway are there. All that I ask is that you are subscribed to this channel, which is completely free to do. Helps my content be shared with other people. So subscribing is awesome. If you can like the video, awesome too. It's things like that that are free for you to do, but just help me reach lots and lots of people and drag them into diamond painting so that they can get the same sort of enjoyment that we all do from it. So yeah, that is today's giveaway. All the best to you all. And the giveaway will close in 24 hours. So if I have another video up, then the giveaway is closed. Grey Legrand, she says, for a really beautiful partial, she says, have a peek at Garden in Gold by Diamond Dots. You're making me interested now. I think I've done a cushion by Diamond Dots, but I haven't done anything else. They do sell some at Hobbycraft. Ooh, it's like a big vase of, well, yeah, it is. It's like a big vase of flowers, but not, oh, what's it called? It's not just a vase, is it? And those big, ornate, looks like a planter of flowers. That's probably how I'd describe it a little bit more, with a cheeky little cat peeking around the corner. That one's cute. Caroline, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, thanks for another great waffle. She says today, and thanks for reading out her comment from a few days ago. Yes, I'm just sorry I'm behind a few days. I'm getting there. She says she's now started on a HomFun 40 by 40 square canvas, and she is finding that the diamonds are extremely tightly packed together. Oh, I've not seen that with them before. She says, do you think this may cause an issue with popping drills as she progresses with it? She says, have you experienced this issue and how did you deal with it? She says, love to you and your family, Caroline from London. I've had one painting, I think it was from HomFun, that did have popping drills, and they were actually popping as I was working on it. Other than that, I'm changing up how I'm doing this, by the way. I'm going for colours that I can see. So yeah, I've had one with actual popping drills from HomFun, but I have had a lot of other paintings from HomFun that have had tight fitting drills but not popping. That's been my main experience with them, has been tight drills but not popping. It shouldn't, if they're not popping as you're working on that section, you shouldn't have a problem with it. I've never had a problem with one that's sort of been tight fitting but then had a problem, you know, a little bit later down the line. I've only had one that seemed to like to pop as I was working on it. You could always seal it as like a little bit of a reassurance, maybe, that things are going to be okay when you're done. That might be something that will give you that bit of peace of mind. I've just seen something, that was it. I'd seen one that I'd missed that was a darker colour and I wanted to get it on. So yeah, you could seal it as you go with either, you're in London, aren't you? So either Craft Buddy Crystal Art Sealer is good, or potentially just some PVA glue. I use that art sealer, but that's because I like it. But they are a UK company, so you would be able to get hold of that fairly easily. I do have a link on my website under favourites to that art sealer if you'd feel better sealing it. All I would suggest is, if you are going to roll it up, of course roll your diamonds out, not in, because that will stop them pushing against each other even more if you roll them inwards. So roll them out and you should be fine. I knew there'd be more. This is where it gets very bitty now. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's rather bitty all over the place. The dark light, she says she has a gigantic partial from Diamond Dots. Diamond Dots do a lot of partial diamond paintings. They're probably going to give you some of the biggest selection of partial diamond paintings. She says it is called Dragon's Princess and it is 85 by 67. It has both ABs and specials in it. It has 28 colours, 2 of which are ABs and 4 special drills. Sorry, I was just doing a scan for my letter L. She said the background and the princess's face, neck and hands are printed. She said she actually likes the face being printed, as she doesn't often like how faces can be rendered when they are small. She says she thinks they look terrible. She said same with hands. Yes, faces and hands can be very, very hard to get right. And and I often look at a rendering when it comes to faces and hands, because I know if I don't like the rendering, then, you know, it would just spoil a potential nicer picture for me personally anyway, because faces can be so hard. She says normally she is over $100 USD, but she scored a great deal and got her for under $50 with shipping. That is a good deal. Sorry, this symbol is everywhere. I feel like I'm going here, there and everywhere with it. Trying to give myself some sort of structure with these symbols, but I am already seeing sections with symbols that I have missed. I've got some of this pin here that I've completely missed when I was doing that symbol. I'll try and get it in a bit. It's still annoying, even though I have the trays, it is still annoying when I miss a symbol. Just in case you're wondering, it's a lot easier to fix it. It's not quite as annoying as it is when I'm working from pots, but it is still annoying. I'm annoyed at myself for missing symbols, and I knew I would, because I know what this painting is like, because it is, after all, a splatterworks, so it was bound to happen because I've got so many bits, and I'm working, of course, in a section in a different way to how I normally work. So I'm not working across in strips like I normally would, so I keep missing where I'm supposed to be looking up to and where I'm not. Anyway, Sarah, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she couldn't help but chuckle when I got to 1929 on the 22nd. She said it reminded her of an old woodchuck twister. She said, how much diamond painting could Rebecca diamond paint if Rebecca could paint diamond paintings? Love it. Absolutely love it. Gotta love a good tongue twister. Lady Dax, she says, Rebecca, she says she is so glad that she is not the only one who is squeamish about eyes. Yes, both my parents have had cataracts and had them fixed, so I know I'm in for it at some point, but I will keep crossing fingers that it will not be for a very, very long time. She says she completely understands about contact lenses. She said the only time she tried using them, she ended up moving her head backwards as the lens came towards her. So would be me. She says no way was it getting anywhere near her eyeball. She says it's been another scorcher in London again. She said her friend in Hertfordshire has had another good storm, and a little birdie in Essex said she had one too. She said it's just not fair. That's what you get for living in the capital that has the only weather report that the major news people tell you. Or at least in the news apps, you know, like reading the news apps. See, that's what happens. They can't report a heat wave if it's not happening in London. To be fair, London normally does get really, really nice weather. But hopefully it will be cooling down for you soon, because even the guy, when he came to pick up the American Post today, I was like, isn't it nicer now we've got a normal British summer? And he's like, to be fair, yeah. He said it might be Monday, but at least it's a nice Monday. So much cooler today. Darcy says, hi Rebecca. She says she has a cataract beginning in one eye. She says it's not enough to stress about yet. She said she did find that her vision hasn't changed that much, so her script doesn't need to change. She said, however, she is getting glasses next week. She says she can't wait to get them. She says the ones she has are scratched up and 8 years old. That does sound like you're about due a new pair of glasses. She says, thank goodness for vision insurance. She said instead of paying $800, she only has to pay $238. She says, have an awesome day. And yes, she entered. She said, sorry about the super long chat. See, I do want to comment on the US and their healthcare and their prices. But it just feels tight, because I know the Americans know it's as bad as the rest of the world know it's in effect bad, how much they have to pay for stuff and how much they have to have insurance for like absolutely everything. We don't have such a thing as insurance for eyes. There are certain things covered under the NHS for eyes, but it's only those on low income that have things covered. So people that aren't classed as being on a low income don't have any sort of discounts. But like my glasses, when I got them, were £120, and I paid full whack, and they were dearer than I needed to get. It's actually because I like to design that happen to be classed as designer. The glasses I got before COVID, I actually did online, and I think I paid £36 for my glasses. And that was on buy one get one free, because I'm not fussed about whether they have a designer name or not. It's all about whether I like them on my face, not whether there's a designer name on the side. But it just shocks me that you need to even have insurance to be paying a decent price for a pair of glasses. It's like the amount of money you must pay in insurance. I'm sure they could set something up so that you could have an NHS for the same sort of price, because I do think things are so overrated. Deb, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, hope you and your family are well. We are, thank you. She says, thank you for another great whip and waffle. She says she's working on Take Time Butterflies from Diamond Art Club while she listens. She says the tray bundle that you have for the giveaway today, she said, is her favourite colour. She says fingers crossed and take care. Purple is the favourite colour of many. We have found that it is the favourite colour of so many people. And we would have potentially brought out the purple sooner. However, we couldn't get hold of the filament for a while. But anyway, we have it now. It will be available in July. But that is the section done for today. I'm not sure how quick or how slow that went. I think it's gone slow. I think it's one of my longer waffles, but I will find out when I edit it. 3 more sections to go and 3 more days to go, but we do have the bulk of the ribbon now. We just get to finalise everything and finish it all off. But thank you all so much. I really, really do appreciate each and every one of you joining, whether you're just listening or whether you're diamond painting as well. And I will speak to you all again tomorrow.